Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. I am immigration attorney Jim Hacking. I am coming to you live from Rogers, Arkansas. I will be here hopefully for the next hour to answer all of your immigration law related questions. I hope you all are having a nice weekend. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear what's going on in your neck of the woods. I am in Northwest Arkansas for a softball tournament, and NOR had 2 triples today, so that was really fun. They lost their first game, and they won their second game. It was a great game, and we're having a lot of fun. We're supposed to have one more game tonight, and we got really lucky because it was really rainy here this morning, and I thought all of our softball was going to be canceled. But luckily, sun came out, and it's turned into a really nice day. So we already have some people in the waiting room, and I'll get to them in just a second. And then, but before then, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what's going on. We got Lewis is here in Austin. You got your email, Lewis. Thanks so much. I will follow up over the weekend. Why Hori is here. Vishnu's in DC. Thanks for the love, TM. We got Nairobi. Liban is in Nairobi. TM's in Maryland. Martha's in Springfield. Rocio is here. Boy, everybody's here on short notice. I had said maybe we'd do it at 3:30, but on softball days, it's sort of up in the air as to when I can do the show. With that being said, let me know in the comments what's going on and where you're watching from, like I said, but we've got people in the waiting room, and I'm going to start with Golden Boy. Hello, Golden Boy.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm sure that we talked before. You remember about the CSPA calculation?
I don't remember who I talked to yesterday, but I remember somebody asking me about the CSPA. Sure.
Yeah. So, long story short, we submitted I-130, I think in 2021 for so LPR submitting for a child under 21 when it was 19.
Okay.
So now the kid is over 21.
Sure.
He's over 21, and the I-130 is still not approved yet.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening with the visa bulletin right now is, they backed that up to 2020, I guess.
Wait, but the I-130 itself is pending. They haven't said even USCIS hasn't even approved that.
No.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking about, so I did an Excel sheet. Like I'm making my own Excel sheet. So I know the CSPA, it won't lock in until you have 4 dates. You have the priority date and the
filing date, the birth date,
and the approval date, and the day when the priority dates become current.
Right.
So I was doing some calculations. So what do you think about about this case if the Department of State they didn't move that forward? So he has like 2 years gap right now. So now the I-130 waiting time, it works in his benefit at this moment.
That's right. Yep, I agree. So what's the question?
The longer it takes, the better. Right now.
Well, I don't know if it's better, but it's at least not getting worse. I think we can say that it's not getting worse with the fact that the I-130 is still pending with USCIS. Once USCIS approves it, then the question is, can I get it taken care of with the days I have left? Is the visa going to be current before? Like, think of it this way. Think of the clock as having frozen when the I-130 was filed. And when the I-130 is approved, then the clock is unfrozen. And then you've got to hope that the visa becomes current before those days add up to make him over 21. Does that make sense?
Okay. All right. So let's see the I-130 got approved Monday, right?
I-130 gets approved Monday. Okay.
Do I need to communicate with USCIS after that, or how?
Well, is his category current? I don't know.
It's not current. It's retrogressive to 2020, back in 2020.
Right.
And
So,
I'm gonna say, so when I need to, do I need like to reach out to you to approach to USCIS to talk to them about, because I heard, USCIS, they won't take any action about CSPA until you speak up.
well, that's not it so much. Is the beneficiary inside the United States or
No,
outside?
it's outside consular
Right.
process. Yeah.
So this isn't something you'll take up with USCIS. This is something you'll take up with the State Department, and there's nothing you can do until two things happen. Number one, the I-130 gets approved, and
Okay.
number two, the priority date becomes current. There's nothing to do. There's no one to speak up to. There's nothing anyone can do
Hmm.
until the visa becomes current. So that retrogression really hurt your friend because they were going to be in a much better position to have that visa spot current than they
I heard.
are now.
I heard until October. In October, they're gonna have a new supply of
They
visa.
should, yeah. So I would not be doing anything right now to speed along the I-130. The I-130 not being decided is actually helping your friend
Okay.
because it's frozen his date.
And the other thing, I have another friend who reached out to me 2 days ago, and I was trying to, just ask you a question in the 2 days ago,
Mhm.
podcast. He, his girlfriend. So him and his girlfriend, they both apply for the DV lottery.
Mm.
So they are in a relationship. She got picked up, and her case number is lower.
They both got picked?
Say that again?
They both got picked?
No, just her.
Yeah, okay.
So for him, what's happening? They want to get married, and she doesn't want to know. Like she don't know if she can do that step
Yeah.
because she filed. They have a history. They've been in a relationship for 2 years.
So that's really good. So the thing is when people win the diversity visa as a single person, they can still get married. That's okay. But I would say that the State Department is very critical of those. They think that they basically think that if somebody won the diversity visa, they go around in their home country, find someone to marry to pay for them to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if they have a 2 year history together, I think it's okay.
As long as they can approve it, so they have to get married as soon as possible, and
Mhm.
then file the DS 260.
I'm not telling them to get married. I'm just saying that she can't do anything for him unless they are in fact married. And I'm also saying it's not too late for her to get married.
There's a bigger for risk. Probably they will cancel both of them. Probably.
No. We've had plenty of these cases.
Okay, and it went through smoothly, right?
I mean, yeah, to me, the way I would pitch it is, hey, yeah, maybe we got married a little quickly, but we have this long history together, and we had to decide because one of us was going overseas what we wanted to do. It sort of forced our hand in our relationship, but the relationship is completely legit.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. That's all
Bye,
I have.
golden boy. See you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank
You
you.
got it. All right, let's say hi to Parth. Hello, Parth.
Hey, Jim, can you hear me okay?
I hear you great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So, I have a couple of questions, but most of them are related to my STEM extension.
Okay.
So, the degree I graduated last December, so the OTP or OPT gets exhausted by December this year, and my degree was a non-STEM degree. The zip code was a non-STEM, like it wasn't a STEM extension zip code. But I talked to the university, and I kind of showed them a list of zip codes that. So the degree is mostly on computer graphics, but there's another zip code which is kind of animation, and that kind of relates very closely to my degree. So the university is kind of planning to go through the process of changing the zip codes. And I was wondering if they change the zip code right now that I'm graduated, could I still apply for a STEM extension?
So you're saying that you would say that if you applied for the STEM extension, that your new I-20 would have a different code than the original I-20.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That could be problematic. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying they might think you're trying to trick them.
Even though the university has changed the zip code in their catalog.
I think it might be worth a shot. I'm just worried that they think that you're trying to misrepresent something that I've never heard of somebody. Well, I mean, first of all, I'm reasonably sure that with your STEM OPT, it has to be the same code. I'm pretty sure that's the rule. But even if you retroactively go back and fix the old one, I think you're probably going to be okay, but I can't guarantee it.
Okay. All right.
I'm not saying you shouldn't try it. I'm just telling you, I don't think anyone can tell you with 100% certainty, A, that it'll be approved, and B, that they might not get mad.
Okay. So what would be the result of doing this? Like, if the positive side is like they'll
Positive
approve
is you
it.
get to work. Positive is you get to work 2 more years. Worst case scenario is they decide that you misrepresented something, and then you're going to need some waiver down the line if you ever want to stay here on some other basis.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. That's yeah, I wanted to get that cleared out because
I don't know that I cleared it up, but that's what I think.
yeah, that makes sense. Well, that was the only question that
Thanks,
I had.
Parth. See you, buddy.
Thank you. See you.
All right. That was Parth. Let's say hi to Bob Nelson. Hello, Bob Nelson.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a question for you. This is my third time being on this show, and I just want to thank you for all what you do for us.
Sure.
Yeah. I received a request for evidence that was last year, November 7th, which I responded to it. It was regarding a joint sponsor. So I responded to it, and they received it December 5th of last year. So I called USCIS a few days ago, and I was told that my file has been transferred to the local field office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but before that, I was told that my interview was waived. That was last year.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is that, do the National Benefit Centers was supposed to make the decision, or is supposed to be my field office? And if my interview is waived, why is it that I didn't receive any notice? Because in the request for evidence, they stated that we need this information from you to make a final decision.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what field office are you talking about?
Milwaukee.
So, so far, obviously, Bob, it's unusual. We are in strange times now where they are approving green cards without interviews. So this is the first time in my 15 years as an immigration lawyer where they are actually approving marriage-based green cards without an interview. So you have to understand that first, right? And so
Yeah.
what that means is their policies and procedures are not nailed down completely on how to handle these. So we have seen some approved by the service centers, but most go to the field office for a decision from a frontline immigration services officer, an ISO. Now, I don't know this for sure, but this is what I think. I think that their system still even though you're not going to have an interview, I think that they still schedule it out as if there was an interview, right?
Okay.
So I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think they're just sitting on your case until they decide. And I haven't heard of cases where they said no interview and then they scheduled you for an interview, but they certainly could do that. So I just think you have to know your case is at the field office. You're waiting for a decision, and that's it. Was the only thing they asked for in the request for evidence for?
Yeah, just only a joint sponsor, and they asked me for my wife's passport and my wife's passport. Yeah, that's it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is not very much and 10 is a lot, how much evidence would you say that you gave them?
I would say a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're just waiting. What was your filing date?
May 18th of 2022.
So 1 year ago. 1 year ago.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah. You're okay.
Okay, so I shouldn't worry about them telling me, because I've called them a lot and say your interview is waived July 5th, 2022. That's what they keep telling me.
Yeah. So that's good.
surprised.
Where,
I'm like,
my last question were you in status at the time that you filed or out of status?
yeah, I was in status, but like I said, this is my third time. Remember, I told you that we delayed of filing my I-45, so I was placed in removing when IC showed up in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
I was married before the 90 days passed.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you're okay.
Okay, so just keep waiting until I get my decision, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
your proceedings were terminated, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
terminated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're good.
All right. Well, thank you very
Thanks,
much,
Bob.
Jim. Appreciate it.
See
Yeah.
you, buddy. All right, that was our old friend Bob. He says that's the third time he's been on here. So that's good. Good luck to him. All right, let's say hello to Shota. Hello, Shota.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm good. So, Jim, it's common question. Actually, I was trying to look some information about I-131 application, like travel parole, advanced parole, and I didn't find the answer on my question. So my question is it okay to travel with advanced parole?
So first question is, are you getting a green card based on marriage or something else?
Yeah. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I am in marriage with my wife, and she's a lawful permanent resident. I have a student status as well at the same time, and this is long story short about me.
So no crimes, nothing that would make
No.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
You've always been in status?
Yes, of course, because she's a green card holder.
Have you already received the advanced parole?
Yes, work authorization and advanced parole, and I-130 is approved as well.
How long did it take for your advanced parole to come? Just so I know.
4 or 5 months.
That's not bad. Yeah, I think you're fine. How long do you want to be gone for?
Month. But just take in consideration that I'm going with my wife and with my mother-in-law together. We're going back to our country and going back.
That's all good marital evidence, so I'm okay with that.
Okay. That's what I want to know. And I watched your video, by the way, not long ago about when the I-130 is approved and I-485 not. So I would like to tell you that when they got my documents in 8 September, on 13 September already, my interview was waived. I didn't know about that. A month later, I called them and they just told me that your interview is waived. So I know that it's happening this time. And when the I-130 is approved, everything is okay with the evidences, with the relationship. I mean, should I worry that my 485 is still pending and they are looking at it?
I have one question. I think I might know the answer, but go ahead and tell me, what country are you from?
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Okay, good. I was thinking Iran. So Iran, they're sort of hard on Iranian men, but Georgia, it should be okay. Is that where you're going to visit with your wife and your mother-in-law?
Yeah, like my family, and we're gonna have a time together and something like that.
I do think that even with advanced parole, I do think that traveling while a green card case is pending can add a little bit of time to it, but maybe like a month, just because they sort of want to check out where you've been. But I think you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my question. Nothing else. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, Shota. See you, buddy. All right. Let's say hi to Gustavo. Hello, Gustavo.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Can you hear me well?
I hear you great. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm just asking because I'm asking about my mother. She's an LPR, and she's now eligible for citizenship under the 3-year rule. So she now lives in a different county than the one that she used to live when she got her green card through marriage. So I'm just wondering if she has to file an AR-11 or just go ahead with the N-400 when it's
Well, every immigrant who's in the United States who's not yet become a citizen needs to file an AR-11 within 10 days of moving. So yes, she should file the AR-11. Now, did she move from one state to another?
No, she moved from one county to basically another within the same state. It's like a 150-mile distance. It's just one county dividing them.
And how long ago? How long ago? When can she apply for citizenship?
It's 3 years after receiving the green card, right?
Yeah, and she can apply 3 months early, so 2 years and 9 months.
She was eligible from January 2022.
Is when she got her green card?
No, that's when she became eligible to apply for
Oh,
citizenship.
she's eligible right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple of things to remember. So January of 2022. So that means she's had her green card for 3 years now, right?
Correct.
Did she get a 10-year green card or a 2-year green card?
She got a 10-year green card.
Okay. So so she can apply now for citizenship. The one thing I wanted to say is if she's moved, you have to have been within the district of the immigration office for 90 days before you file. So she should wait until 90 days after she's moved to file.
Okay, she moved April 2022.
Okay, so she needs to do the AR-11 today, and then I would even wait 90 days from then to apply.
Is the AR-11 a file that requires no assistance? Like it's just to fill with?
There's she can do it online. If you just Google AR-11, she can just do it all online.
Okay. All right.
Just make sure you print out proof of it or save it as a PDF, and then wait 90 days or 92 days to apply for citizenship, because technically she could probably win proving up that she's been there more than 90 days if she's been there since April of last year. But you don't have to like get the lease and prove all that stuff up. It's just since she's already waited, I would just wait the 90 days and then apply.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, may I get an extra question?
Sure.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now we are talking about another person.
Okay. Which
is a friend who's an LPR. He got his 10-year green card through his dad, and he's eligible for naturalization, and he wants to go forward in that, but there's a discrepancy of exactly 1 month in his green card and in his Mexican birth certificate.
Okay.
How is it possible to overcome this issue?
Okay, so number one is why does he have the wrong date on his green card? Whose fault was it?
I don't know, but his green card is on around the 9th year of like the first renewal, you know?
Right, but we need to know whose mistake it was, because that's going to impact who pays for. He needs to file for a replacement green card.
Well, he got his green card through his dad, and his dad got it from a sponsorship. Maybe it was like a TN, and then he jumped to H-1B and then green card.
Yeah.
He went through the perm process and everything, and maybe I don't know if it was like the lawyers from his company or his dad, but he's like one month younger in one of these official documents.
So is his birth certificate the right one, or is the green card the right one?
I believe the birth certificate is the right one. I believe.
And the only reason I would be worried about this is if there was some way that by being 1 month younger, he got his green card, but if he was 1 month older, he wouldn't have got his green card. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
That wouldn't be the case, I believe, Jim, because my friend got his green card when he was around 10 years old, 12 years old.
Okay. So what I would probably do, just to clean up the record and make it easy for citizenship, is I would pay the fee for the I-90 to do a replacement green card and demonstrate that the green card has the wrong address on it or the wrong date of birth on it. I would do some digging and try to figure out whose mistake it was. So he could do, if I were in charge of this project, this is what I would do. I would do a Freedom of Information Act to get my complete immigration file, and I would try to figure out how in the heck did this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Did we put the wrong date on the I-45 or on the I-45, or was it some other way that the USCIS just type it in wrong or something, right? So if it's their mistake, then he doesn't have to pay for the I-90. If it's his mistake, then he has to pay for it. But I'm not so concerned about who's paying for it. I'm more concerned about whose mistake it was. I don't think in general it's going to be a problem. I also think in theory he could just apply for citizenship, but I'd rather, if I were him, I'd rather clean it up beforehand than and not go in there blind. I would want to get my whole immigration file so that at least I have what's in front of them in front of me when I go in for my N400, because I don't want them to think that I or my father tried to trick them.
Yes, and they like the whole family got the green card. It was like father, spouse, and 3 children. So I believe it's only his green card that has the different date. And the other thing is that he got like 2-3 years ago, he got a speeding ticket, and well, he paid for that and everything. He went to court, I believe. But he would have to wait like 5 years, right? After that incident, or not?
It was a traffic ticket?
It was a traffic ticket in California, yes.
No, traffic tickets, you don't have to wait 5 years. It's only for like serious crimes with probation and stuff that you have to do. That you have to do 5 years.
Okay, and last question about him. Would he need a medical examination, or is that only for green card?
Only for green card.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much.
You got it, Gustavo. No problem.
Bye.
You got it. All right. So I'm going to take a quick break. I want to let everyone see one of Noor's hits. Let me see if I can pull this off. I think you guys might like it. She had 2 triples today. 2 triples. I'm obviously a very proud dad. Let me see if I can show you one of them. All right. Let's see if you can see. Here we go.
Nice. All right, Noor.
That's me cheering. So
yeah,
she made it all the way to 3rd. So that was fun. Thank you all for indulging me. Always proud of my baby girl. It was a lot of fun. All right. Let's say hi to our old friend Melvin. What up, Melvin?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I am doing fine. A long time.
Yeah, for sure.
So first of all, my wife got her green card this week.
Love it.
But I remember telling you something about I was trying to file for her daughter.
Yeah.
Now I was doing the paperwork when the green card came. So then something came to my attention, like maybe I can switch this into her name. Because when I did it, and then it says something about, I click on a stepchild, and then it says something about support. How do I support? But then I'm like, okay, what evidence should I present to them as a support? But then I'm like, maybe I should just use the mom green card to file for the daughter instead of me having to go through all of that drama of looking for evidence of support. Although when the mom was there, I was sending money to them so I could request for my money grant file, but it's just a long thing I'm trying to avoid.
So as always, everybody, Melvin has great questions. Melvin always asks me good questions. And for those of you who don't know, he's the king of Liberia. He went to war to get his wife her visa. He made the embassy apologize for the way they treated her and got her the visa. So Melvin's one of my all-time favorites, one of our GOAT callers to the show of all time, and he comes again today with a great question. Here's what you need to think about, Melvin. Up until 3 months ago, I would most likely have said that you should do what you're saying now and let your wife apply for her own daughter as a green card holder. But I don't know if you were listening earlier, but basically for the last 3 years or so, or maybe 4, the cases filed by a green card parent or a U.S. citizen, they've gone along the same speed. But right now, there's been a big jump and a new backlog for the children of green card holders that wasn't there before, right? Mm-hmm. So what that means is she will, unless things improve, she will most likely get here faster through you than through the mom. Because you're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit of extra work to prove up the relationship, but your relationship with that girl basically just started, right? It's not
with the mom?
No, with your mom, with your wife's daughter.
When I married a mom, I immediately start supporting both of them. So
Yeah.
before
so
even
when,
I got married to
but
her.
how long
so,
ago was that?
That was, I would estimate that was 2020.
So I would just say if you can come up with some basic evidence of supporting your wife and her child since 2020, I don't think they're going to hold you to a very high standard of proof, because it's not like this is your child who's always been back in Liberia. This is just someone who's just newly your child. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to, I mean, I do think they treat Africans unfairly when it comes to proving up support of children. I think it's a special issue that they're unfair about. But at the same time, you have a new relationship with that kid. It's not like she's 18 and you may have been supporting her for 18 years, you may not have. So I don't think you're going to need a lot, but if you can prove, I would say, money transfers to the mom and maybe an affidavit from the mom about how she used that money to help the kid, I think that's all you're going to need.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Because I was trying to contact.
I would do that instead of having mom apply.
Yeah, I would listen to your advice and go through that just to get MoneyGram to send my file and stuff like that. And I also trying to get the receipt that she took to interview when because she took a lot of MoneyGram receipt as an evidence I was supporting her and stuff like that. I'm also trying to attach that to the file and upload it, because I usually file the case electronically and stuff like that.
Yeah. Perfect.
So attach it to that and then send it to them as evidence I've been supporting the child too, because the mom was there, and even though the mom here now, and I'm still supporting because I still send $200 every 2 weeks there for her upkeep and stuff like that. So
awesome. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Bye, Melvin. See you, man.
Bye.
All right. Let's say hi to Ziad. Hello, Ziad.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm good. So, I have 4 questions. So recently I have filed my all the forms, and after like 10 days of filing, they sent me an RFE for mail us the form I-693 medical exam. So my question, because I have read a lot that this is a sign for waiving some sort of interview and something like this. I don't know. I just trust you and your opinion. Number 2, when I check my case status, I find that my I-485, my I-765 are being processed, but the I-130, like, it's just stuck at that case being received, nothing more. Third question, I have recently received a receipt of notice for the I-765, and it has like some sort of a red stamp. Was a text action completed, approved for filing. I don't know, what does that mean?
Yeah, we've been seeing that too. That's a new thing. I don't think it means anything.
Okay. So number 4. So I think I have told you before that I'm a postdoc right now at a hospital here. I'm not paid. Recently I have been offered a job at my hospital. I haven't received my work permit yet, but my J1 status is still legal, and I have 6 months left on it. But the job is a 1-year contract job. So my question is, should I like do the J1 extension? Would that alter my I-485 or not? Or should I just like tell them, give me like 6 months on my current status, and I show them the proof that I am filing for a green card and a work permit? Would you suggest?
So first of all, with the J, are you subject to Rule 212E?
No, sir, no.
So you're not subject to that. Okay. And is it going to cost you anything to do the J1 extension? Is it a big hassle? Is it expensive?
No, actually, it's all on the hospital. It's not on me.
So the only reason you might not do it is because you're concerned it might mess with your 765 or your I-485. Yeah. No, you'll be fine. Go ahead. That's not a problem. And then just whichever status you have at the time, just keep going, and you're going to be fine. I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, so maintaining my non-immigrant status wouldn't just jeopardize my my I-4.
People do it all the time. And your spouse is a citizen?
Yeah, U.S. citizen.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Okay. So the medical exam thing, they just sent me an RFE after 10 days after filing.
It's great.
Great?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we're telling everybody right now to file the case with the medical. So the fact that they're, I mean, we get request. We have a lot of people who get asked to send in the 693 after 6 or 7 months. So the fact that you got it in 10 days tells me that things are starting to move faster.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah. Actually, the interval times between I get an update to another is just like very short, like 7, then 17, then 27, then it's
Now with the I-130, I wouldn't worry about that. Those online portals are very unreliable. The fact that nothing can move without the I-130. So the fact that you're seeing online updates, I literally think all that is somebody didn't click a box. So I think you're fine.
Okay. So right now the J1 extension is like cool, like nothing to worry about, because I have read a lot about that. This is a non-immigrant status, and I have an immigrant application. So it would be just like, why would you still extend your?
You're thinking of it backwards. You're thinking of it backwards. The problem isn't that it would affect the green card. The problem is that if you were overseas and trying to get a J1, they would say, well, you have this 45 pending, or you have a immigrant visa pending. You're trying to get a green card. Okay. We're not going to give you the J1 extension, but USCIS doesn't think like that. It's okay to operate on both tracks.
Yeah, and I think then I could explain it to it. I have a job offer, and I didn't receive my work permit yet, and I didn't want to do anything illegal. That's it. I'm still legal to work on my current status.
Well, and the other thing that I always say is, if you can take advantage of 2 immigration benefits, do it. Take advantage of both. So as long as they're not inconsistent, which they're not, you're fine.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Hi, Ziad. See you, buddy. All right. That was nice talking to Ziad. Let's say hi to AJ. Hello, AJ.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
My favorite. Music to my ears.
Yeah. So a little bit about me, but I probably have a question that you get asked all the time.
That's okay.
I'm a DACA recipient. I got it when it first came out. I'm in the process of renewing it right now.
For like the 4th time?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It'd be nice to get something permanent. I've been with my girlfriend for like 6 years, and we're thinking about getting married. I also have 2 college degrees, and I'm going back for my master's. So I guess my question is, I was advised by a local non-for-profit to file for advanced parole, since I've never done it, while Biden is here, while he's president. They said that, if I were to get married and adjust my status, that if I don't take advantage of advanced parole, I could potentially have to go out of the country for an extended amount of time. I was just wondering if you could expand upon that.
You want to explain all that to you? Sure. So the first question is, are you a visa overstay, or did you enter without inspection as a little kid?
I entered as a little kid.
Without inspection.
Right.
So, okay. So people that enter without inspection, their green card cases are not like everybody else's. So like Ziad, the guy that was just on here, he came on a J1, he was inspected. So they make it easier for him to get a green card. And it's slightly different than the way you're going to do it if you don't do advanced parole. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about all the hassle that you would have to do without DACA and without advanced parole, so that you then understand what a great gift Biden and Obama are giving you. Okay.
Okay.
So if DACA didn't exist, if advanced parole for DACA recipients didn't exist, this is what you would have to do. You would get married. Your spouse would file the I-130 petition by itself. The I-130 petition would process, and it would get approved. Then your case would get sent to the National Visa Center as if you're going to go overseas. Now, if the only problem you have is that you entered without inspection, then you would file a 601A waiver, and you would have to wait for the government to approve that. That would take like 18 months. And you'd have to show that it would be an extreme hardship for your new spouse if you weren't allowed to stay in the country permanently and get a green card. It's a pretty high burden. We charge we charge 150% extra for what we charge for a regular green card because it's a ton of factual work. We have to get psych records from your spouse, medical records from your spouse, financial records from your spouse. It's a big hassle to prove this all up. And then once that gets approved, you have to make an appointment at your home embassy, which would be where? Juarez?
Well, I live in Chicago now.
No, but I mean, what country are you from?
Mexico.
Yeah, so you'd have to go to Ciudad Juarez, which is like one of the worst consulates and the slowest consulates. And they would say, okay, AJ, you have an appointment on May 13th, 2024, and you leave and go to Mexico, and you're going to be nervous because you're hoping that they're going to approve the waiver and that they're going to honor the waiver, because at that point USCIS would have adjudicated it and it would have been approved. That's the one thing, is that Obama made it so that you find out before you leave. Before Obama, you found out only when you got there. And if it didn't work, then you're stuck out there. So on this show, routinely people call up and talk about how they're stuck in Juarez and they can't get anyone to rule on their waiver, or their waiver got denied or whatever. So it would be extremely stressful for you and your spouse to have to go through all that. So
agreed.
The biggest problem for you right now on getting your green card is you don't have a proper inspection. So the beauty of advanced parole is that you would file for advanced parole. You would say, I need to go back to Mexico. I need to see grandma, or I need to see my uncle, Jorge. And Jorge's really sick. Here's his medical records. Will you please give me advanced parole? And they'll say, sure, AJ, here's advanced parole. And then you're going to go overseas. You're going to go see Uncle Jorge, T.O., and you're going to come back, and then you have a proper inspection. Then your prior unauthorized entry is forgiven for purposes of adjustment. So then you get married. Your spouse files for you, just like the last caller, and then you're just like everybody else. You do a straight I-130 45 green card adjustment, all in the United States. You don't have to do that waiver. You don't have to spend all that extra money. And most importantly, you don't have to leave and worry and go back to Mexico, sitting out of the country for 6 or 8 or 12 months.
Oh, awesome. That sounds great.
It's a huge gift. I believe it started under Obama, and I believe that we got one of the last people in. We got someone in on the last day from Mexico on advanced parole when Trump took over and shut it down, right? So it was like a huge thing. So Biden's people brought it back. So if the nonprofit didn't explain it to you well enough, I hope I just did, because it's a huge gift that makes your life so much easier, and it sets you up for a very clean adjustment of status case through your spouse.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, they didn't explain it well enough, but I'm glad I talked to you here. And then, do you know about how long advanced parole is taking to get approved right now?
I think this kind of advanced parole would probably take 7 or 8 months.
Okay, 7 or 8 months, gotcha. And then I heard that if I do because my grandpa is actually very sick, if I do the rapid one, does it take a lot less?
You mean if you try to expedite it?
Yeah, expedite it.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, you can submit evidence with it that grandpa's really sick and that you really need it. I would probably just let it play its course, but it's up to you. You can do whatever you want with that.
Okay, awesome. Well, Jim, thank you so much. You're the GOAT, honestly.
Okay, buddy, good. I'm really happy for you, and you're in really good shape. So don't miss this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Will do.
Bye, buddy. All right. That's one of my favorite kind of cases. We love working on those cases. Like I said, we had one of the last ones at the end of the Biden administration, and it's just so great to be able to get someone all cleaned up so easily. So looks like Ayo's back. Ayo, are you back with us?
Yes. Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks for what you do.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm currently on my OPT on F1 visa, and I got married last year June, and I was trying to save up money to file the whole process. And sometime last month, my husband decided to do something stupid and got a felony charge. So he hasn't been charged yet, but the offense he committed is felony, and he is a vet. So
what was it? What's the last thing you said? I heard felony. Huh?
He's a vet.
He's a veteran?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a U.S. citizen who's married to a foreign national, who we're getting ready to file for a green card, but we haven't filed yet, even though we need to file right away.
Yeah.
And now he's been charged. It's alleged. They say that he's committed
He
a.
committed a crime. Yeah,
Well,
he committed.
hold on. He allegedly committed a crime. We're not admitting jack squat. Somebody is saying that he committed a crime. We're not admitting that. Okay.
Oh, he already admitted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you fight me. Okay. All right. So he got caught with this felony. Okay. Do you know what kind of felony it is?
It's so embarrassing to say, but let me just put it
Let me just say this. Does it involve a sex crime or a crime against children?
Sorry?
Does it involve a sex crime or crime against children?
No, armed robbery.
You're what?
Armed robbery.
Armed robbery. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So but he's not in jail right now.
No, he's not in jail. No.
Okay. So we need to file this case yesterday. We got to get that thing done.
Okay.
What's the question? What's the question for me? So
okay. So can I go ahead and file? Can I still get immigration benefits even if he has that pending, or do I change my case to VAWA? And the reason why I'm thinking of VAWA is because when I got married, I didn't plan marrying someone that is not honest in his living. But because of what just happened, I'm rethinking the old decision. I don't know if I should go ahead with the marriage or get an annulment since it's still within 1 year of marriage. Or I should go ahead and fight for the immigration benefit.
Well, this is sort of a complicated question, probably something beyond that we just want to talk about on this show. But here's how I sort of think situations like that through. So remember, I always ask, is this U.S. citizen someone that I want to go to bat with? Because when they have interviews and when they're looking at cases, I often think the most important thing is how strong of a witness is this person going to make? What kind of an incentive do they have to engage in marriage fraud? If they're willing to commit armed robbery, are they willing to file a fake marriage-based green card case? These are the kinds of questions that I think go through the USCIS officer's mind. When it comes to VAWA, you can't just file VAWA because he has an armed robbery charge. Those two things don't equal each other. But if there's abuse that you can document from him, and just real quick, are you already married?
Yes, we've been married for almost a year now.
Yeah. So note to everybody, this is one reason why you file as soon as possible, because you never know when something weird like your spouse getting charged with armed robbery is going to happen. So those are all concerns that I have. Another one is just a practical concern, and that is, let's say that you file it tomorrow, and let's say that the case gets started. And then you said he already admitted the armed robbery, and usually that's like a federal charge, I think. I guess it could be a state charge, but either way, let's say he gets sent to prison for 10 years. How's he going to participate in the I-130 interview? Now, our office has actually, my amazing wife has gotten a few I-130s approved where the petitioner is in prison, but it's not easy, and it's not something you want to count on. So all those things play into what you're asking me about. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I can't tell you what to think. I guess the other thing that I would ask is, when you got married or now, are you in immigration status or are you out of immigration status?
No, I'm still in status. I'm actually still going for my master's by fall. So yes, I'm still on status.
So then the flip side of everything I just said is, if put immigration to the side. If you think you're going to get divorced and you don't want to stay with an armed robber or soon to be convicted armed robber, you still have your F1 to go back on. And if you were to get divorced or even annulled, you might be able to get an annulment, which is as if the marriage never happened. That might set you up for the future if you want to apply for a different green card based through employment or marrying somebody else.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
That's a lot to carry. I'm sorry that you're going through all that.
Honestly, I'm going through mental stress. That's why I'm thinking of the VAWA, because like I said, it's not like I woke up and decided to marry someone that decided to be stupid. So because of the whole thing, I have like elevated high blood pressure. So my stance on VAWA is to prove it put me through mental stress. So, but I'm
And
still considering the whole thing though.
Rocio reminds me that one thing I'm always supposed to say is that the most important thing for you is to be safe. So we can't forget about that. But if you are safe, and that's, physical safety, mental safety, psychological safety, spiritual safety, that's the most important thing. Everything else can be worked out.
Okay, great.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You got it. All right. Let's say hi to Faraz. Hi, Faraz.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Okay, good. I've been watching all your video and really get a lot of experience from your answering question and stuff like that. I actually have a situation regarding my naturalization. I've been permanent resident since August 14, 2001. That's over
That's a long
20.
time.
But yeah, 2 year. I get my green card through a marriage from American citizen.
Yeah.
My first interview was so good, and when I do that, remove the condition, they send me the green card. They approve my green card without interview.
Nice.
So what happened is in 2004, I get my permanent green card, a 10 years green card, in I would say May 24. I apply at May 2023 2000. I'm sorry, May 2003. I get it in February 2004, right? So during 2004 we get separated. We no longer live together. But during, I'm originally from Syria. When I travel back and forth to Syria or any other country, they used to hold me on the airport for many hours.
Sure.
So what I did, I filed for the citizenship on, almost in August 2004 because I'm qualified, after 3 years. At the interview, I told the officer that we still living together, but they find out we are separated. They just remove my case to fraud unit, and I get a lot of trouble with the immigration department.
Yeah. But they didn't come after your green card.
No. What happened is 2000. So it takes like four and a half years for them to respond back to me. It's not responding. I have to file amendments to get the decision. So they find out, say, okay, you are no longer eligible for naturalization because I divorced in 2006. So I'm not gonna tell all the story now. Recently, I filed for naturalization in February 2023. I have my interview. Just recently, 3 months ago, almost 3 months ago.
So can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
On the N400, it asks a question. Have you ever given any documents or testimony to USCIS that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Did you put yes or did you put no?
Yes, I put yes.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, I'm listening.
I answer all the question truthfully. I said I lie about, my relationship during the separation. And, I told them everything.
Did you talk to a lawyer before you did this?
Yes.
Okay.
And the lawyer, he submit everything, truthfully, legally, correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
What happened is now I recently contacted the congressman to check the status of my application. They send him a letter that's saying waiting for a supervisor review.
Sure.
Okay. So my question is, if I pass 120 days, should I file for amendments or just wait another 2-3 months then? Because
so to me, I mean, first of all, did you request a copy of your file through the Freedom of Information Act before you filed for the N400?
Yes.
Okay. And I mean, Did they, when they denied your N4, I mean, first of all, you never should have filed a mandamus on the 3-year citizenship case once they knew that you were separated from your spouse. That was not approvable. You should have withdrawn that N400.
So what happened is once it takes like 4.5 years. A friend of mine introduced me to an attorney. I told them that my situation. I don't know what's going on in the back. 4 years, they only responded check for background. Bend them for background check. That's the response for them.
Yeah, but you knew that they knew that you were separated from the spouse that you were claiming was the basis of the 3-year naturalization.
Yes.
So anyway, so I would want to see the denial notice of the prior N400 before I might have told you don't ever apply for citizenship. I might have told you that. I don't know. I very well could have said don't ever apply for citizenship. You're lucky they didn't take your green card. So
Okay.
I don't know that I would have pushed it with a new N400. I also don't know that I would push it with another mandamus lawsuit on day 121. I might, but I'd really want to read over the N400 decision from the last time, and I'd probably want to do some research to see how at risk I think your green card actually is. I mean, in theory, when they concluded that your prior application had fraud in it or misrepresentation, they could have tried it for your green card right then. And that's why I might always be worried about filing for citizenship now. It's not so much about whether you're going to get your citizenship, but more about are you going to lose your green card.
So something Aaron mentioned, they filed for a removal proceeding in July 2014.
Okay, tell me about that. Because of all this?
2020, and my attorney, he filed for a removal of termination of what they call it? Motion to terminate.
Wait,
right?
so hold on. So in 2014 they gave you a notice to appear and said, was it because of the citizenship application?
Yes, of the recent citizenship application, and because of the they think it's a fake marriage and stuff like that.
It's from start to finish they think it's fake.
Yes.
So what happened with the deportation court?
So the judge, once we filed for a motion to terminate, the immigration department did not respond back to the judge, and the judge gave him 2 months, and then he gave him an additional 1 month, and no response from them. So he terminated in November 9, 2021.
But so you didn't win on the merits. You just won because they stopped fighting, right?
Yes.
And that would of course been after the Biden team took over, and they're like, yeah, we don't really care about deporting for us.
Correct.
I don't know, dude. I would not have applied for citizenship again. I probably wouldn't have.
So there is no chance, you think?
I'm not saying there's no chance. I'm just saying you keep knocking on that door. One day they might say, oh yeah, for us. Damn, we forgot about, man, we really should have showed up for that deportation hearing. Let's start it all over again, which they can do. So okay. I don't know. I'm not completely comfortable telling you what I would do without seeing that N400 denial, but I'd probably say don't keep pushing that N400.
Okay, even if I'm being over like 22 years a permanent resident with no problem, no arrested.
Well, I wouldn't say you've had no problem. You have had a problem, and that involves fraud. And fraud is one of the biggest problems there is in immigration. So I don't think you should say I've had no problems, because you have.
I mean, arrested or something like that. That's what.
Well, I mean, frankly, they could have arrested you and put you in deportation. All that could have happened.
Okay.
Immigration fraud is I mean, other than a false claim to citizenship, immigration fraud is right at the top of the list, man.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would probably, I don't know if you've ever seen that cartoon of Homer Simpson backing up into the bushes, but I might back away from this N400 and just leave it alone. I don't know. There's another argument. Hey, this is the best chance he has to do it while Biden's in office. Try to get him his citizenship. He's admitted it. They tried to deport him once and it didn't work. Maybe they'll let him get his citizenship. I don't know. I mean, usually immigration fraud is the silver bullet that keeps you from getting any further immigration benefit for the rest of your life. And they might just keep denying you for citizenship and not try to take your green card.
Okay. Okay. So if they deny me, can I just go to the federal court and fight with the federal court?
I don't think so. Again, you go to federal court and then they're saying, damn, how can we get rid of Faraz? What's the easiest way for us to get rid of old Faraz? Oh, I know. we'll deport him for fraud. So you're not listening to me. I think you should back away from this. I think you should stop pushing this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so
For
much.
us, and for us, we can't forget. You know, my wife is from Egypt. I became Muslim 20 years ago, 25 years ago. For Arab men, you know, they're always looking for a reason, right?
Yeah. You know, currently I'm married from citizenship, American citizen, and I have three daughters. They are citizen.
Mm.
So even if they do deny me an old case, can I file a new case with my current wife?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
Good luck for us.
Thank you so much. Thank
See
you,
buddy. You got it. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. I will try to do a show tomorrow, but we'll see. It all depends on rain, softball, travel, and how far Noor's team gets in the softball tournament. So I hope you all have a great night. Thanks for being here. We had 200 people watching on a Saturday with no notice, so that's pretty exciting. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.